Welcome to the Caribbean Edge, kids. We are so excited to bring you today's episode of Reggae Month meets Black History Month. We have some amazing children for you, three of them. We have David, Jason, and Malia. Wave hi, kids. And we also have Mrs. Judith Fallon Reed, author, and also she's going to tell all of the amazing things she's doing on Irie Times TV. And we have Miss BJ Pert, streaming live from Jamaica, and Auntie Sophie, of course. So let's take you through what we're doing with you today. We'll just have Miss Author Judith Fallon Reed take us away, and she's going to share with us her book. Welcome, Mrs. Judith Fallon Reed.
No, please just call me Judith. I don't do well with titles. Hello, kids. Hello, everybody watching. Miss Peart, everybody, Auntie Sophie, Auntie Dawn. And today I hope to have something really exciting to share with you. So in 2007, I was the first Jamaican woman to visit Antarctica. Do any of you kids know where Antarctica is? Just wave, raise your hand if you do. Okay, David, unmute yourself and tell me where Antarctica is.
It's at the top of the globe.
Ah, see, now that's the Arctic. The Arctic is at the top. So Antarctica is at?
Bottom.
The bottom, exactly.
Bottom.
Yeah, Antarctica is at the bottom. Every time I say Antarctica, people think the Arctic, because who goes to Antarctica, really? Usually it's just scientists and explorers who go down there. And when people think of Antarctica, they think Arctic and they think polar bears and northern lights, but that's the top side. I'm all the way down. I went all the way down to the bottom, where just a small amount of people in the world get to go to Antarctica each year. And so I was the first Jamaican woman to visit Antarctica. And out of it, I created 2 books. And this is the one I'm going to read for you today. It's called Antarctica Adventures with a Jamaican on Ice. So what I want to do is I want to start by just reading the book for you. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me. How's that? Does that work? Okay. So what I want to do is I want to share my screen with you so you can get to see what I see. And you're not just looking at me, but you get to see the actual book that I'm reading. And so this is my book. It's called Antarctica Adventures with a Jamaican on Ice. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in the screen for you. So this was what I saw. Can you guys see that? Good. This was what I saw when I woke up the very first morning in Antarctica. Really, really beautiful picture of what I saw. And so my book is a book with pictures, and it's got my blog, which I wrote while I was in Antarctica. And that was the first thing I saw on the first morning. And it just says to the children of the world is a beautiful and exciting place with more amazing things to see and do than you may ever have time to explore. When you travel, you learn about the world we live in. Going to new places teaches you more about people, culture, and the way the world works than you will ever read in a book. And I want you to read books, but I do want you to also go out and explore the world. I hope you enjoy this taste of my Antarctica adventures, and it gives you courage to go out and have your own adventures. And that's the globe. It kind of shows you where I traveled. I traveled from Miami, Florida, and I had to go to Buenos Aires in South America. And from Buenos Aires, I went to the very, very southernmost place in the world called Ushuaia at the tip of South America, and crossed the Drake Passage, which was really a scary passage, and went to Antarctica. This is Pedro, and Pedro the penguin. He's going to take you through the book. So wherever you see Pedro, there's a fun fact in the book. And I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to read for you and point out a few of what I think are the best ones. So it starts with, I'm very excited. The summer is spent. At last, I'm going to the White Continent. And I'm going to ask you at the end why you think they call it the White Continent. Bundled up warmly, it feels rather nice to go on this adventure as a Jamaican on ice. So this is Ushuaia, as I told you. It's the southernmost city in the world, the very bottom of the world. And this is where we boarded the ship. Sailing across the Drake Passage on a big cruise ship from the tip of South America, it is a fun trip. To the bottom of the world, close to the South Pole, where ice, wind, and snow makes everything cold. Through a window I can see snow-covered mountains and red buildings beyond the sea. I sail past icebergs, much taller than trees. So let's do a little math. An iceberg, what you're seeing there is only 10% of the iceberg is what you see above the water. Okay, so if 10% is above, I want you to do the math and tell me how much is below when we're done. I sail past icebergs, much taller than trees, and lazy Weddell seals on ice floating free. Soon I arrive at Harbor Island Bay, where sleepy fur seals guard a boat in decay. That boat has been there for a long time, they say. The ground is white. It has snowed all day. The chinstrap penguins have come out to play. So I'm gonna ask you later on why they're called chinstrap penguins. Take a good look at them, boys and girls. Take a really, really good look at them. I sit on a rock with penguins all around. Red algae blooms through the snow on the ground. The skies shine bright blue and sunlight abounds. A lone fur seal poses for a picture with white snowy ground. I sail past an island with a cloud for a hat and see Adelie penguins on an ice floe with one lying flat. Past glaciers, black mountains, and ice in shades of blue. To Paradise Harbor filled with orange-beaked gentoos. These are gentoo penguins, and how you know they're gentoo penguins is because they have orange beaks. And they're bigger than the normal small penguins. They're pretty big, pretty fat, and they have orange beaks. Look, Ma, no head, a penguin seemed to cry as he turns his head around to face the other side. Around his feet, the poop is pink, filling the air with its stink. So that penguin, the penguins can do that. They turn their head all the way around and their poop is pink because they eat krill, which is like a little shrimp, and it makes their poop pink. Some penguins are muddy, but they don't seem to care that people surround them everywhere. So that's me on Paradise Harbor, where there's a Chilean Air Force base, and it's called Waterboat Point right there. And that's me just taking a quick pose, and all those dirty penguins you see were walking all around me. We always see nice, pretty white penguins. Well, these are muddy and dirty. Inside the Air Force base, open 3 months of the year, I see pictures in the museum and buy souvenirs. The day is ending, but there's still time yet to stand out on deck and enjoy the sunset. With bright red, orange, and gold, the sun goes down. To keep warm, I go inside with a smile and not a frown. It was cold out there, so I had to go inside. The very next day, I awake with surprise when the Chilean fjords appear outside. So a fjord is actually a very long, deep area where the water comes in between high cliffs from the sea, and it's called a fjord, and there are fjords all over the world. And this, what you're looking at in the background, is actually ice. It's a glacier that comes right down to the sea. There's a hanging glacier frozen on top with a waterfall beneath it flowing down a steep drop. This was very fascinating because that's all ice on the top, and then you have water flowing down underneath it. And these are all my pictures that I took. What beautiful, magical sights to behold. Let's take care of our earth for the young and the old. Don't be afraid to explore our amazing planet. Go traveling and enjoy all the marvel that's in it. And then in the book, I have activity sheets and words to the song and several other things going on there, which we won't go through now. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I'm back. So did you guys enjoy that? Did you learn anything? You can unmute yourself, guys. Kids, tell me if you learned anything or if you have any questions for me. Go ahead. Just put your hand up, unmute yourself if you have any questions or if you learned anything or if there's anything you want to know about my trip.
While the kids are thinking and unmuting, I want to say, Judith, I am so happy you shared that journey with us. The pictures are amazing. So you can add fantastic photography.
The pictures were, as we say in Jamaica, buck up. I mean, I do good pictures, but I wouldn't add photography to my list.
Amazing, but that's the beauty of you and us being able to see what you saw and just take us through that journey and to write a book about it so that even adults, not to mention children, can see, because we all don't have the opportunity to travel to these places. And for you to walk us through in such a way, thank you so much. Kids, any feedback, anything you got from this?
Okay, Malia. And I think Miss Peart has something to say to Malia. Go ahead, Malia. Go ahead, Malia.
Nice story.
Thank you. Thank you. So there are actually two books. One is a picture book. If you look at the thing behind me, you'll see it, which is a big, full-size 100-page book of pictures and a much, much longer story that the adults have, but I find a lot of the adults prefer the children's book and they go for the children's book. And so when I do this, usually there's an exhibit. It's a whole exhibition actually. And so it's pictures, it's the books, there's a song, which I want to teach you. If I can do that at the end, Auntie Dawn, that would be great. There's a song, there's a film. It's a full exhibit of everything. So I'm the Jamaican on Ice. I think Miss Peart had something she wanted to ask.
One, you just crystallized a few other things in my brain. And you should have correct me when I said me want to see Northern Lights and I don't so you did. Now don't leave a wandering mind out there. Rainy thing too.
I knew it wouldn't wander long.
All right. But wow. Why? What was the impetus for the initiative?
Right. Okay. So I used to be the marketing director for a cruise line, a small cruise line that did exotic cruises and just went to out of the way places. And Antarctica was one of those places. Now, I'm also a writer and I used to write travel stories, but I used to write about Antarctica from everybody else's experience, the guys on the ship, the expedition leaders, and just from research. And I just thought, you know what, everybody can go to Alaska. Anybody can go to Alaska, but wow, wouldn't it be cool to go to Antarctica? Because a lot of my friends have been to 6 continents. I'm the only one I know who's been to all 7. And it was just kind of cool. And then I realized that no other Jamaican woman had gone to Antarctica. And I like different adventures. I'm one of those people who, when I do go to China, I'm not going to go to the part of the wall that everybody goes to. I'm going to go to the part that very few people go to and is broken down, because I love history, I love nature, and I like the unusual.
Thank you. Beautiful. And it was nice seeing even the penguins that were dirty.
And stinky. You could smell them from miles away.
It's just realistic, right? So I think Malia has a special presentation for us. We do know it's Black History Month and we know it's Reggae Month. So take us away, Malia. What do you have?
I am going to be reading about Miss Lou.
Go ahead. And Malia is 6 years old from Bethlehem Junior Academy, a proud sponsor of the Caribbean Edge Kids. So we are happy you're here. Take us away, Miss Lou.
Singer, folklorist, educator, author, living legend, cultural ambassador, activist, poet, comedian, cultural icon. Louis Bennett Coverley, also sometimes known popularly in her native Jamaica as Miss Lou, is one of the most beloved folklorists, authors, and singers ever to come from Jamaica. Born on September 7, 1919, Bennett was a Jamaican poet, activist, a living legend, and a cultural icon. Through her poems in Jamaica Patois, she raised the dialect of the Jamaican folk to an art level which is accessible and appreciated by all in Jamaica. She married Eric Coverley in 1954 and has one stepson and several adopted children. She enjoys theater, movies, and auction sales. On Jamaica's Independence Day 2001, Bennett Coverley was appointed as a member of the Order of Merit for her distinguished contribution to the development of the arts and culture. New scholar written by Miss Lou. Good morning, teacher. How is you? My name is Sarah Poole. This is Filmnica Boy Michael, and me just bring him to school. In born one rainy days, mom. It was coming on tonight. All the baby grow pretty fit too, for this one was a sight. In born the week when Rufus got fruit to the start for beer. Is that same month I'll be pig dead, but me forgot the year. We call him Mick, Mike, Mikey, J, Jackie, Jacob, Doc. But him right name is Michael Jacob Alexander Black. No treat him rough, yeah, teacher. Him is a sickly child. As a touch him hard and met nice. Some people say him poor. Take time with him, yeah, teacher. If him rude and start for rave, this beat another boy and he will frighten number 8. Enough time when we rude a yard, I know when and won't name yet. I'm just beat the pet post adma and you want to air jack bad. Now that you know in little ways and not having no fear that any twin men him, so I left him in your care.
Come on, girl, shut one. Big up yourself, mommy, to the culture. To the culture.
DJ Kirk was like having a field day over there. Auntie Sophie and Judy. Oh my
To the culture.
We had no idea. So, Malia, tell us why you picked, only 6 years old. Oh my gosh. So tell us about why you picked Miss Lou and, you know, what inspired you. And you did this presentation in your school as well, right?
Yes.
So you're getting a little shy now. So tell us, why did you pick Miss Lou?
Because she's Jamaican and she's the most beloved folklorist authors and singers ever to come from Jamaica.
Thank you. And you did it so well. Your patois is amazing. That's one of the things that she's so proud of is our beautiful language, dialect, some people call it. And me and Auntie, we know we have the books. So thank you so much. That was amazing. I am so proud of you, Auntie Sophie. Everybody's proud of you. I'm sure Mommy. Yeah, man, and your patois good too.
Hey, say, mommy, do
Thank
good.
you.
So Mommy is Jamaican?
Yeah, mommy and daddy.
I
They
see.
teach
Which one
me
is
Jamaican.
Oh my God, that's so amazing. I am so proud to hear that because not a lot of people overseas teach their kids how to speak patois. It's such a beautiful language and you are doing amazing. I'm proud of your mama and your daddy.
Thank you, Mom. And Daddy.
Yes, my dear. Big them.
Auntie Dawn, can I tell you that the reading was so clear of the Miss Lou poem? Did you know that many people cannot read the Jamaican dialect? I can tell you that Malaya, many people cannot read it, even though a lot of us speak it clearly. We cannot read it, and a lot of us have trouble writing it. But thank you, Malaya, for sharing that with us. That is some deep history right here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And only 6 years old. What else will come from this youngster? Proud that you're representing, sharing your heritage and culture with the rest of the world and inspiring other little girls and boys as well. Thank you, Malia. So let's switch over to Mr. Jason, who is no stranger to the Caribbean Edge Kids. And I know you're 9 years old, Jason, and you would love to be an engineer?
Yes, Auntie Dawn.
Absolutely. See, what do you do for fun?
I play with my little brother,
And what's little brother's name?
Jaden.
Jaden?
Yes.
So what do you do with him? What kind of games do you boys play?
We play Roblox.
Good. All right, so what do you have for us today?
Can you say that one more time, please?
What are you reading for us? You can start.
I'll be reading Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
Civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. never backed down in his stand against racism. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929. At the time in that part of the country, segregation or the separation of races in places like schools, buses, and restaurants was the law. He experienced racial prejudice from the time he was very young, which inspired him to dedicate his life to achieving equality and justice for Americans of all colors. King believed that peaceful refusal to obey unjust laws was the best way to bring about social change. King led thousands of nonviolent demonstrations for 54 miles to the state capital of Montgomery. King was arrested several times during his lifetime. King inspired a large crowd with one of his many speeches, called I Have a Dream. Raised in a family of preachers, he considered one of the greatest speakers in U.S. history. The end.
Thank you, Jason. And tell us, what does that mean to you? What does Martin Luther King Black History Month mean to you?
Well, he fought for Black people's freedom, and he's a civil rights leader. And he's one of the greatest. That's why.
And we are so thankful that you chose to speak about him today. And being a big brother, you also set the standards for your little brother as well, and for other kids that are tuning in and listening to you read today. So thank you for selecting Martin Luther King Jr. and representing so well for Black History
You're
Month.
welcome, Auntie Dawn.
Thank you, young man. And Miss BJ Pert, how are you enjoying it from our homeland, Jamaica?
Medea.
So tell us what going on in Jamaica.
What going on in Jamaica, not just this week alone. You see, when you have one of them envelope there, and listen, first of all, someone who were out there, remember, you know, I yard your people them come from. My father would always ask that question. I have 13 nieces. We assimilate well, but you have to remember, say, I yard your people them come from. So this week, I was granted, by virtue of the government of Jamaica, citizenship by descent. And since me go get citizenship by descent, me go get me blue book. These are the official yardie. What that means, children, what that means is, no, I was not born on the island. I was actually born in London. My parents migrated to New York after that. And at 7, I came to Jamaica. So I just some ears start catch my language. But because in my home, Jamaica existed, no matter where we lived, outside the door was whatever other culture that country gave. But in the house, in the yard, at Jamaica with it. But I'd never been to the island. So when I came at 7 to attend school, my ears treated patois as any other language. I was immersed in it. Them say me chat was rather anybody else. But the ability to be able to, as modern terms will use, code switch, it's a survival tactic. It's an emotional move. Because I know, yes, I'm in never string there, but me there. Jamaica's in me. It's in my DNA. There are many at this point who are taking DNA tests and they're rushing back to the motherland. Jamaica is my motherland. We can go back a few generations, and I was with folks the other day, and mommy was from one island and daddy was from another country and grandparents was someplace else. But when we check off the box, them mother Jamaican, father Jamaican, grandmother Jamaican, grandfather Jamaican, grandfather Jamaican. I my people them come from. Give your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren the gift of Jamaica. Parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents can register their kids for citizenship by descent or not teach them about yard anyway. We can assimilate all we want, but in our heart, our yard will still come from. We create great flag wavers that can jump up at anybody masquerade and carnival, know everything what they on the menu. But sometimes them not get for touch jam down the rock land of wood and water. It gives you something. See, it make you back. It make you sure say a talawa. I just saw it all. That's what's going on in Jamaica, right?
I so love you.
A friend of mine said, listen, when you ask a question, just answer it straight now. I said, no, no, that then come to me for. May have curves. You gotta tell them which Jamaican you know tell a story just straight. So
That's right. That's right. You got it.
So the first time I saw Miss BJ Pert was a video of her on a flight going to Jamaica. And if you haven't seen this video, please check her out and she will have you cracking up. And I fell in love with her the moment I watched that video. And I said, Auntie Sophie sent me the video later on. And I said, yes, I got to find her and have her come on the Caribbean Edge Kids. Such an experience. And we're definitely going to come back to you. I'm so glad your love for Jamaica shines through like so many Jamaicans in Florida. I mean, it's our heart. So we're so happy to share it with the rest of the world because nothing like coming from Jamaica.
my parents poured that into
No,
me.
we're not.
My mother came home every year. My father did naturalize, but my mother died at Jamaica. And even though my father naturalized, he made sure after a while, forget him blue book. So when I come through customs, you know I'm going on a foreigner line. I didn't come from. So I have to make sure I have him book.
So remember where we come from.
It's what allows us to persevere in whichever of the many nations that Jamaicans are. The Jamaican diaspora is vast. We are everywhere. Pick them, as you see, the most remote corners of the world, and a Jamaican has touched it.
Yes.
And that strength that we have, some have not yet learned how to tap into it because they're not chat patois. See, they can't wear a flag good, but they're not chat patois. So, but that in itself gives you a whole nother power. I don't have the accent, but because I can hear a thing, say a thing, I feel a thing, I walk a thing, I can get to flow. To me, it's a language. It's a language of the heart. I've been in either settings as a child or settings as an adult where you recognize, say, one next yardie in the room, and we've manipulated our conversation from speaking standard English, regardless of where we are. And you push off to us and say, yardie, how you do? How things are going? It worked well for high school. I went to Midwood High School. Medical Science Institute was in the heart of Flatbush. In Bushwick, we did not have that many West Indian or Caribbeans at that time. Going into Midwood High School, the entire Caribbean was there. Going into college, that you find where are your corners, where are your strengths. It unifies you. Patois the boss, patois the deal, no how to flex.
And if I can interject, we actually just call it Jamaican now. We dropped patois. We don't use that anymore. It's now the Jamaican language.
It is the language, patois.
Absolutely.
I remember growing up and my grandma used to say to my brother, boy, you can't chat bad, you can't chat no better. Because we grew up with standard English, but his love for his country and his language is just amazing. So thank you so much. And that's what this show is all about, is just sharing that rich, fascinating culture with the rest of the world. And I know David has a special treat for us. Hi, David. Tell us about you, young man.
Like what?
How old are you?
I'm 11.
11 years old. That's a beautiful age. And what do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a YouTuber.
A YouTuber. So I read that and I was like, okay, tell us what's a YouTuber and why did you choose that profession?
Why I
Tell us
want to
about
be
a YouTuber.
Huh?
What's fascinating to you about that?
I can communicate with people and it's fun.
Absolutely. And the technical side, are you interested in the technical side of it?
What technical side?
There's no technical side to being a YouTuber?
Like what?
I don't know. You tell me. What is a YouTuber?
Somebody who makes videos on YouTube.
Okay, so there's a technical side to that too, right? You're gonna make the videos. Okay, so tell us what, I think Miss BJ Perk has something for you.
I'm trying to figure, what would your content focus on? Why would we want to watch your channel?
Because it's fun and
Okay,
enjoyable.
Now I'm trying to figure, what would I get to learn from you? If you come to my channel, you're gonna learn about travel. You're gonna learn about food. You're gonna learn about music.
You could learn about games and how to play them.
Pardon?
You can learn about games and how to play them.
That's what I'm
Or
talking about.
tutorials about doing other stuff. Like
So-
maybe let's say that your computer broke or something, or maybe the Wi-Fi is not working, but like the Wi-Fi is working for another computer. I might also say stuff like that.
Come through, my dear. Come through. That's all I'm talking about. Take me into the tech world. Yes. Yes.
awesome. So I think you have Dogman, Lord of the Fleas for us, right?
I'm only gonna probably be reading like 4 chapters or
Okay,
2 chapters, and then it'll be a to be continued.
okay, so let's see your book. Very interesting. Okay, take us away, David.
Okay. Dogman, Lord of the Fleas by Dave Pilkey. Dogman behind the. Oh wait, actually no. This is just. Okay, the story thus far. One time there was a cop and a police dog who got hurt in an explosion called Blammers. When they got to the hospital, the doctor had sad news. Boo-hoo. I'm sorry, but your body is dying and your head is dying too, cop. Rats. But just when everything seemed hopeless, the nurse lady got an idea. Let's see the dog's head onto the cop's body. Okay, nurse lady. So they did, and soon a new crime-fighting sensation was unleashed. Hooray for Dogman. Along with the way, Dogman made some very awesome friends. Zuzu, the world's greatest puppy. Sarah Hadoff, the world's greatest reporter. Chief, world's greatest chief. And Dogman, our hero. And one super evil enemy. Petey, world's most evilest cat, wanted for being a jerk. I'll make a big evil villain just like me. Recently, Petey tried to clone himself, but instead he got a tiny cute kitten who was nothing like him. Little Petey, world's greatest kitty. Little Petey's life started out sad, but it wasn't sad for long. Now little Petey has a family. ADHD, world's greatest robot buddy, and that is a good place to start. Chapter 1. A visit from Kitty Protective Services. One morning at Dogman's house, little Petey and ADHD were hard at work. Well, I'm all done reprogramming the dogmobile. Now it's super easy to control. How's the hydraulic roof coming along? Clap, clap, whir, whir, whir. Awesome. I can't wait until Dogman sees it. Ding. Good morning, Dogman. Look at what me and ADHD did. We transformed the grand ballroom into the coolest clubhouse ever. Us three are going to be in a club, okay? We'll call ourselves the Super Buddies. Most of the time, we'll just be our regular selves, but when danger rears its ugly head, we'll be superheroes. Look, I even made a cape for ADHD, and I made him a flip-around mask. I'll just tape it here and now he's brave. But if you flip it up, he's happy. He looks so different, you can't even tell it's him. So I'll be Cat Kid and you can be the Bark Knight and ADHD will be Lightning Dude. This is going to be sweet. Oh, it's time for breakfast. Cat food and cream for me, dog food and gravy for you, and nuts and bolts and motor oil for ADHD. Hey, I know, let's all eat and flip-o-rama. It's an important part of the nutritious breakfast. Flip-o-rama is basically like I'm gonna actually show it because basically, you take your hand, you put your hand right here, and then you flip it, and it looks like it's animated. It's probably hard to see because, well, I'm reading, but yeah, that's what's around. Ding dong, rough, 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 rough. Don't you bark at me and you stop barking too. That's better. I was sent here by Kitty Protective Services. Apparently you've got a kitten who should be in school. Come with me, young man. Grr, don't you dare growl at me. Kittens have to go to school. It's the law. Do you want to pay a fine? Do you want to go to jail? Do you want to lose custody? It's okay, dog man. I'll go to school and we can play together when I get back, okay? Bye, dog man. Bye, ADHD. Meanwhile, well, hello there, little fella. Hi, Papa. Haha, I think you confused me with somebody else. No, I haven't. I'm a kindly old school social worker. No, you're not. I only care about your best interest. No, you're not. No, you don't. Look, kid, I'm not who you think you are. Yes, you are. I am not your papa. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Am not. R2. Am not. R2. Am not. R2. I am not. You are too. Pop, punt, zip, shuffle, shuffle. Yeah. I knew you were my papa. Look, kid, I'm not your papa. You're my clone. Clones don't have papas. Well, I do. Look, I have had it with you. It's not even noon and you're already driving me nuts. Hey, where's the school at, Papa? We're not going to school. We're getting out of town. Why? Because you're in terrible danger. Why? I'm not going to tell you why. Because every time I tell a story, you always interrupt me 1,000 times. Why? Because you're a pest. Why? Sit down. Why? Because we need to talk. Why? Look, it's very irritating when hey, Papa, you got weird hairs in your nose. You're just interrupting. I won't interrupt anymore. I'll be good. All right, because what I'm about to tell you is, hey, Papa, is this story going to be boring? No. Okay, you may continue. Well, it all started when I was in this morning when I was in, hey, Papa, do you want to hear a joke? I am going to finish telling my story and you are going to listen quietly with no interruptions. Okay, chapter 2, Petey's story with many interruptions. All right, listen carefully. This whole mess started today at sunrise. I was in my jail cell minding my own business when the guard comes in and starts messing with me. You-hoo, Petey, what you doing? Nothing. Hey, you're not building a giant robot, are you? No. Oh, good. That's a relief. Well, come with me. It's time for your appointment. What appointment? You have to see the psychiatrist. I ain't seeing no head shrinkers. Sorry, Peter, the judge says you have to. Rats. So anyway, Petey, meet Dr. Katz. It's a pleasure to meet you, Petey. Yeah, I know. Hey, Papa, that looks like the costume you wear. Just pay attention. It'll all make sense soon. So anyway, my records show that you've been locked up here 7 times and you've escaped 6 times. Yeah, well, it's been a busy week. Petty, we need to get to the root of your problems. All right, all right. I guess it all started when I was a kid. I used to be in Critter Scouts. Hey, Papa, how come I'm wearing that hat? That's not you. That's me when I was a kid. Oh, so anyway, I used to be an awesome scout. Here's another badge for you, Petey. Sweet. I was known far and wide for my good deeds and merit badges, but it all ended one day when we went to play miniature golf. You kids play nice. I'm gonna go get some coffee. Everything started out great, but then a terrible storm arose. The whole place began to flood. We hid on a tiny boat, but the water rose higher and higher. Soon we were washed away. The storm raged on for weeks and weeks. Finally, we landed on a deserted island. Well, Petey, what do we do now? We must use our scout skills to survive. We can hunt for food and use piggy glasses to light campfires and stuff. Together, we can build a utopia based on hard work, respect, and civility. Civility. What do you say, fellas? We'll try our best, Petey. 9 minutes later, attack. Cranky the ape and Bub the crocodile had their own agenda, and soon a blade was pointed before us, and hungry sharks with razor-sharp teeth were below us. And then, hey, Papa, knock, knock. Are you even listening? You're supposed to say who's there. Come on, Papa, it's a good one. Who's there? A flower. A flower who? A flower pooped on your head. Ha 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 ha. That doesn't even make any sense. Look, kid, this is serious. I'm pouring my heart out to you. You need to pay attention. So anyway, there were Piggy and me at the brink of death, my specs, losing the battle between civilization and savagery, when suddenly, hey, what are you kids doing? I was gone for 10 minutes and you regress into maniacs? What are you, a bunch of animals? When I find out who was responsible, Petey did it. Wait, so the whole part about the flood and the island was all make-believe? Well, yeah, but that's not the point. The point is that I was betrayed. And then he started a fire. Then he fed my specs to the shark. We tried to stop him. In the end, I got kicked out of Critter Scouts. All my good deeds were erased. All my virtuous hard work meant nothing. Life was pointless. I guess things were never the same after that, Doc. And what about Piggy, Crunky, and Bub? Oh, I got my revenge against those guys. How? I just made a few phone calls to the right people. Hello, Animal Rights Union. And soon their whole organization was flooded with anti-discrimination lawsuits. The Critter Scouts was shut down within a week. What happened to Piggy, Crunky, and Bub? Well, who cares? I'll tell you what happened. Pop, Piggy, we lost our badges too. Our lives became pointless as well. And we began planning our own revenge against you. Ha 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 ha. Crunky and Bub are waiting outside. Now that we've got you, we're going to destroy somebody you love. Your little kitten. Wait, you love me? Just pay attention. So anyway, then we're going to take over the world in our giant Robrontosaurus. It's parked outside.
Wow.
Oh, guard. Yes, doctor. An evil pig just broke in and swallowed Petty. I'll save you, Petty. Hold on, Petty. I'm coming for you. Oh, Crunky. Oh, Bub. Yeah, boss. Help that guard. Okay, boss. And then Petty locked the door and yeah. Let me at him. We're helping. Bye, Dr. Katz. So long, sucker. Ha 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 ha.
So David, hi David, tell us about this book. This is a very interesting book. I've never heard of it before. So we appreciate you sharing it with us. We're gonna have to purchase this book and take a look at it. So what do you find fascinating about this? Tell us about the book you chose.
Like what?
Anything. What makes you like it? What's your interest in this book?
How it's written.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So a lot of your friends read this book too?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. For those of us who don't know this book are certainly going to look into it. And maybe a lot of the viewers also know about this book. So if you know about this book, please put that in the chat for us. So thank you.
Oh, actually, the book is a series. This is one of the books in the series.
Oh, wow. So great. Thank you for that. And let's see the cover again so we know what to look for if parents are interested in this. Awesome. Dogman, Lord of the Fleas. Very
By
interesting.
Dave Pilkey, in case they want the author. Because he actually makes other things such as Captain Underpants, which was probably the biggest book that he made.
I know that one. My son used to read that. Now I'm relating. Thank you. I think we still have those books on the bookshelves. Thank you. So let's go back to Auntie Sophie here. Auntie Sophie, what an amazing lineup of kids today.
I know, Auntie Dawn, and I want to thank from the start, thank Miss Judith for coming on the program and share. She took us in that cold region where you're going, brrr. I know Miss BJ Parrott must be thinking, I need a sweater, just thinking about it. So we thank her for her bravery and thank her for taking us into that region that we would never have thought of or have even imagined going. But I'm going to ask Miss Judith right now, can you tell me how many species of penguins there are? Because I could hear different names as you were reading, but I couldn't. I'm going to have to get the book. But tell me, how many penguins, how many species did you see?
Okay, so species that I saw or were near where I was. Where I was, we had chin-strap penguins, which we had a lot of. And you can notice they had the strap under the chin, which is why they're called chin-strap penguins. And the Gentoo penguins, which I showed you, the ones with the orange beak.
Orange beak.
The Adelie penguins, which is the one that has like a ring around the eye. Those were the ones that were lying down on the ice that I showed you. Those I saw lots of. You have macaroni penguins. Now the macaroni penguins are in the area that I was in, but we didn't see a rookery of them. But I did actually get to see two of them. Okay. I don't know, they must have strayed, but and they have these, like whiskers coming off their eyes. So they're called macaroni penguins because they've got what looks like macaroni coming off their eyes. And so they're macaroni penguins. Now the emperor penguins, like in Happy Feet and king penguins, those are not in the area that I was in. Those are a little further north from where I was. I was pretty far south. And the emperor penguins and king penguins are more in the northern Antarctic waters. So I didn't get to see those.
And
so those are the ones that I did see.
And Happy Feet, I think the kids could relate. Happy Feet
yes.
is a little movie with penguins, correct? Miss BJ Parrott knows Happy Feet too. That was a nice little movie. So yes, so thank you so much, Judith, for taking us there. I know you asked us at the top of the show to remember some of the things we were hearing, and you pointed out there was a glacier or an iceberg, which is we could only see 10% at the top.
Yes.
So we're asking the kids, how many more percent do you think was all the way underneath that deep, deep ocean? If 10% was at the top, how many more percentage do you think was at the bottom?
90.
90.
Yes, and Miss Malaya knew as well, and Mr. David and Jason knows. So you can imagine how deep that was. So we thank you for those visuals, Auntie Judith, and I'm sure the kids really learned a lot, and we encourage you to go dig and learn some more. So I'm going to ask Judith to show us the picture of the book again, so Mommy could try and get the book.
And they can actually go on my website, which is Jamaican on Ice.
Yes.
They can actually go to Jamaican on Ice, or just look me up, Jamaican in Antarctica. I'm gonna pop up.
Yes.
And actually purchase the book, but not just purchase the book. You'll be able to see some pictures. You'll see some
can you believe that, Auntie Judy?
And they'll also be able to find the song on YouTube. It's called The Penguin Slide.
Yes.
Yes.
Which I hope. Yes, thank you. We hope so. And this is kids. Auntie Judith just made Black history because she is the first Jamaican to go in that region.
Jamaican woman.
Jamaican woman. So
Yes.
there you go, Black history right here. So thank you, Auntie Judith. Thank you, Malaya, for reading my favorite icon, Miss Lou. Listen to me, I walk around, Malaya. This book stays with me like mommy would hold on to her Bible. So I am fully Jamaican with Miss Lou. Even if I don't have my driver's license, I have the book in the car. Not that the police will accept that, but I'll show it to him. And I don't leave my flag. And Miss Peart, you are not the only one, ma'am. I too have my Jamaican book.
I have mine too.
Yes, I'm sure Judith does. So everybody out there, if you're feeling jealous, you know how to get it. So we
Yes,
carry Jamaica in our heart. So thank you, kids, for sharing with us today. Thanks for indulging us as we express our culture and share with you, because this is what we do. And we are making history because this is the first program of its kind in the United States. Black history, up, up.
Up, up.
Thank you, Auntie Dawn. Back to you.
Thank you, Auntie Sophie. So we asked the kids a little patois. We're gonna have some fun with patois. So we're gonna see what these kids know. We know Malia, she already sure we said she fully versed in patois or the language. So Jason, you have a Jamaican parent, correct? So Jason, you have to unmute and tell me what you know. Tell us some Jamaican, some patois.
Me not care.
Lord.
Me not care.
Me not care.
Me not care. Sure. So what you not care about, Jason? I will tell you that, mommy, when you go to mommy, she said, me not care. Stop bother me. Yes, mommy in the doghouse. Mommy said, but mommy really, really, really does care. But sometimes if you come with the little things with you and your brother, she probably said, me not care. And go work it out as brothers, right?
Sometimes.
I did that with my kids too, and they're best of friends because they don't have to work it out. I never care either. So, David, where are your parents from?
My mom's from Jamaica.
Okay, so you know any patois at all?
Yeah.
All right, boss Will, go on.
Yeah, man, and little boy, man.
Little boy, man.
Hey, little
So
boy.
you're a little boy. So do you speak patois at home at all?
No, not really. I just talk English. Well, normal English, proper English.
Proper English, okay. So I grew up in a household in Jamaica where we had to speak the Queen's English, as many Jamaicans do. But as Miss BJ Peart mentioned, it's just in our heart, in our soul, you know, just throughout us to divert to our culture and our language. So I am so happy that we all have this opportunity to share this beautiful language with the rest of the world, and that you kids are learning it, so that when you go to Jamaica or you're around Jamaica people, you can bust it on them too and make them know, so you know, understand what I'm saying. Because sometimes we talk so people not understand me. So Malia, tell us about your household. Parents talking patois.
Sit down.
Sit
Sit
down.
down, girl. What a guan.
Check your palate.
Oh, one man.
So yes, a lot of times parents will tell us, go sit down, go pick up a book. Girl, go pick up a book. Picnic, go pick up a book. Do you hear those things? Yes, and tell us about your school, Bethlehem Junior Academy. A lot of Caribbean kids go there. It's great for education. I saw all the artwork and posters. What a brilliant setup in that school. I've personally visited it and seen all the colorful artwork, poems, all the grades that you guys are doing so well at that school. So tell us about school.
School is a thing is a place where I can learn properly. My teachers teach me how to do stuff I don't know, like how to count by 25, and they teach me how to say our words that we don't know to say them properly, and they are the ones that make me learn patois too.
Oh.
Miss Miranda is Jamaican and Miss Saunders.
Oh, that's beautiful. We're so glad you're doing well at Bethlehem Junior Academy and that you have some great teachers and friends. Look at that beautiful smile. You're so beautiful. And you did really well today with Miss Louise Bennett, as Auntie Sophie says. That's just an icon in Jamaica. And we're so happy you shared us with the world today.
Thank you.
Malia. I'm going to go back to Miss BJ Pert. Any parting words, anything you want to tell the people, them?
Don't forget where you are there. We have an absolute gift of Jamaica. And I know there are a lot of people who, one lady said, why? My mother said it. She did not raise her children to return, but it doesn't mean that she didn't put it in my heart to be a part of it. We're look about with Talawa, and we have to make sure our next generations are Talawa as well. So turn around and ask mommy when they're going to make you a citizen of Jamaica. Ask daddy too. Go get the paperwork. Flood Pika. Enough of it there, because it's one of the best things I've ever done. And I love it. I'm a love y'all. I know yes, no man never string there, but me there.
Absolutely. My daughter actually wants to me to have hers done. So that's on the agenda to get done. She actually inspired me. She wanted to be born in Jamaica, actually, but I chose to have her born here. So she has that little nag at me, like, you made me born here, not Jamaica. So she actually went and put the Irie tattoo on her shoulder, because she wants people to ask her what that means, and it represents the culture and that everything's okay and everything is just Irie. And so I also went and got the matching tattoo as a dare. So we both have that to, just a little piece of our heart of what we represent from our culture. So we're so happy you've become a citizen. Congratulations, the best place in the world.
The crazy part was that I actually traveled on Jamaican passports from birth to 14. But because of the way records aren't maintained and changes in acts of parliament, children who, like me, who had been given these passports based on our mothers, were stripped of that right. That's why I had to formally do Jamaican citizenship by descent, which, crazy enough, I had to go through my father because of some mixed up stuff with my mother's name. But it's the best gift ever. There are many like me. I know one or two country we belong to 3, but yard at a sustenance, yard at a foundation. The rest of the 2 of them, they were just countries that our people went to. Jamaica, I cut and shape. Jamaica is why we're here this moment. I mean, I dash that way for no.
I'm envisioning the next plane ride video that I see will have something to do with the fact that they are citizens.
Well, no, sir. I when me catch and walk through, even though you can't have camera there, so I have to go work that part there. Because it doesn't count till I get to the counter when you have to stand and say, okay, which line you go? But no, TSA is too funky. That's why even in that mix of videos, there was one from when we first took off, and I held that clip in the phone, and I didn't do anything until we were just landing. I'm Air Jamaica trainer, old school style. When we are land, lies must make. Thank you, Father. Big up the pilot. That's like that. But they don't do that much anymore.
Yeah, bring it back.
I did try it on my last flight, but here's the difference. The flight going into Montego Bay are usually a lot of first timers. They're excited. Flights going into Kingston are Jamaicans coming home. Them not have time for me on my shenanigans. They were quiet. I've got the video, not a response. Them just
Lord.
Montego Bay, they're on fire. You can do that on a Monday morning flight. Everybody busted out from the weekend and they usually just been married.
So we're gonna share that video. We're gonna share Miss Judith's video as well because I love the song, Judith. So we're definitely gonna share that after this show. So viewers, check it out. Auntie Judy, any parting words for the viewers?
What can I say? It's Black History Month. It's Reggae Month. It's Jamaica Day next week, Friday. It's all good. It's all good. Kids, just go out and see the world, you know. The world today, the bad news travels real fast, real fast. And if you just listen to that, it would make you feel like there are only bad things in the world. But the truth, the real truth is that there are more good things, more good people, more wonderful things in the world than there are bad. It's just that bad news makes better press. You know, the newspapers sell more, the TV sell more when they put bad news out. So go out there and look for the good news and live a life that is full. Enjoy everything that the Creator put here for us to enjoy. And make your life really about more than just a job, more than just about where you live and what you have. Make it have value by giving back to the world, being a part of the wonderful world and giving back to it as much as you can get out of it, and leaving the world a much better place than when you came in.
You'll get into good trouble.
Good trouble. That's my parting shot.
That is awesome, Judith, which is why we do this show. It's about the inspiration that the kids bring. It's about the fact that they can inspire each other. As Auntie Sophia and I always say, keep reading, kids, keep enjoying life, keep learning from each other. Pull all the good stuff out. Like Auntie Judy said, there's so much good out there. Just keep living, inspiring, and you are all amazing today. So thank you, viewers, for tuning into the Caribbean Edge Kids, and one love.
Mhm.
Thank